Hey there guys, welcome to my channel. I am Blade Drummer and I am back for another review. It's so great to have the cinemas open again and I could finally go and see Wonder Woman 84 just the way it was supposed to be watched.
You are stupid.
The question is it any good? Well, sit back, grab yourself a drink and let me tell you all about it. In 1984, Diana Prince, played by Gal Gadot, is living a quiet life in Washington and discreetly helping people as Wonder Woman. That is until a scheme from charlatan businessman Maxwell Lord, played by our very own Mandalorian, Pedro Pascal, threatens global catastrophe, tempting bumbling gemologist Barbara Minerva, played by Kristen Wiig, down a dark path, and giving Diana something she never expected, the return of her long-dead lover, Steve Trevor, played by Chris Pine. For the first time in about 2 decades, 2020 has been a year without a single major Earth-saving hero on the big screen. You could arguably say that Birds of Prey qualifies, but I don't think Harley Quinn really cared much about saving the world. The one thing that DC and Marvel's greatest heroes weren't prepared for was a global pandemic. But as the year closes, one comic book blockbuster has defied the odds to make it to the big screen and rescue 2020 from total misery. Although again, you could say The Mandalorian could also be in there as well, so literally the 2 things that have been the best part about 2020, Pedro Pascal is a part of. That must be really wonderful for him. After a flashback on our hero's home island establishes the movie's central theme through a spectacular opening sequence which was brilliant to watch, with its propulsive energy matched by the unexpected thrill of seeing a little girl drive a massive action sequence, we jump forward decades to find Diana stopping crime in the most 80s location imaginable, a shopping mall. Even though nearly 70 years have passed since the events of the first movie, immortal demigod Diana still hasn't moved on from the loss of Steve Trevor. In the midst of her loneliness, she befriends fellow museum worker Barbara Minerva. She's the kind of socially awkward character seen in countless 80s movies, a person others ignore or forget. Wiig has definitely played a goofball once or twice in her time, and so she puts that to good use as a seemingly powerless Barbara, making her utterly endearing despite occasionally bumbling, and provides a nice contrast to Gadot's more stoic Diana. Barbara longs to be like Diana in every way, but as her admiration of Diana turns into something more dangerous, she turns into something very unlikable. Wiig proves novel casting. Her inherent likability garners sympathy in the early scenes, but she holds her own through Barbara's transformation, conjuring real menace when she turns the tables on a predatory creep. The main villain, Max Lord, played by Pascal, fits another familiar's 80s mould, the head of a failing business whose slick TV infomercials lure investors into a pyramid scheme. Desperate for true success, he wants to track down an ancient stone that can grant wishes. Pascal emits plenty of charm, making him a nuanced baddie with sharp retro suits. As in the first film, the heart and the soul of this film is Gadot. She just radiates grace and goodness, which is so infectious, and there was always a smile on my face whenever she was around. There's an acrobatic fluidity to her action choreography that's so great to watch, a sense of weightlessness as she propels herself through the air. I will never get over how awesome it looks when she uses her whip on lightning to traverse the sky. Diana soon finds herself dealing with the return of Steve Trevor, setting up a nice flip of the dynamic they had in the first movie. This sends us on a fun tour of 80s Washington DC as they investigate the cause of his return. Pine is very good in this film, and him and Gadot are a joy to watch as she shows him all the advancements of technology, and his childlike wonder is funny and heartwarming. A chunk of the movie doesn't have major action sequences, and they are few and far between, but when the action does come, it's a delight. Diana's powers offer plenty of visual variety, while composer Hans Zimmer uses her epic theme music to get your heart pumping. If I did have to say some negatives, I did feel that the final fight was very short-lived, and compared to the colourful wonders of the rest of the film, really dark. I was honestly expecting more from it, and I was a little bit disappointed. At just over 2.5 hours, it probably could have been shortened, and some bits do drag a little. The CGI can sometimes be a bit off, but that's just nitpicking now. Even though the fight with Barbara was short-lived, the final encounter after that shoots for a more ideological triumph of good over evil. One scene of personal sacrifice that dovetails into the final act perfectly captures an atypical form of heroism, and there's just sheer emotional power captured beautifully. There is a little bit after the credits that I would say to stay and watch if you really are a big fan of Wonder Woman. If you're not, it probably won't have a lot of meaning to you. A big question is this film better than the first? I would have to say that I enjoyed the two the same amount, but for different reasons. The first one was a good introduction to Diana, and there was more action scenes. In 1984, there was less action scenes, even though I still enjoyed them, but the film had a lot more heart. The sequel gently reminds viewers that there is hope for humanity after all, even at one of the darkest moments in our history. All this is weaved into the film's believable characters, lovely action sequences, and resonant emotional beats. Wonder Woman 1984 not only delivers the blockbuster thrills that 2020 has been missing, but it leaves you with the hope that we too can propel ourselves into a brighter future. I would definitely recommend this film and go and see it when you get the chance. 8 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. If you enjoyed it, go and hit that like button as it is the best way to help me out. Subscribe if you are new because I've got plenty more reviews coming your way. I have Instagram and Twitter, the links are down below in the description. Go and follow me on there to see what I'm getting up to in the future. Have you seen Wonder Woman 84 or are you thinking about going to see it? Let me know down below in the comments, I'd love to chat to you about it. Well, that is me done for now. You lot take care of yourselves, stay safe, and that is me, out!